I don't consume a lot of manosphere content or red pill content, but the little that I do consume, I'm seeing an overarching trend around how so much of the content is missing the mark for men. Anyone who knows me knows that I consider myself about 50% red pill. I agree with a lot of the prescriptions for the red pill, that we live in a matriarchal society, that a lot of the system often disadvantages men, and that many modern women are incentivized to be entitled. However, I don't agree with a lot of the solutions in terms of focusing on superficial things to get the woman you want. Because if you focus on superficial things, you get superficial women. And everybody on the internet in the men's space these days seem to be talking about make more money, get a nicer car, get in better shape. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with motivating men to be better, to make more money, to feel good, be in shape. But when you're focusing only on the superficial things, you attract superficial women, right? So one of the things that I've really been reflecting on as I'm walking through the world, I've been living in Miami and Medellin, Colombia for the past few months, seeing so many men use their money, use them being in shape, and it's constantly attracting the same type of women. Women who are out there looking for a sugar daddy, women who are out there looking for a man based on his metrics, based on what he has and what he can offer her at a superficial level in terms of her having the experiences she wants, the life she wants, what she can post on Instagram, that he's just a tool or an avenue to give that to her. That's what you become when you're just focused, I'm gonna get rich and then get women. I'm gonna get in shape and then get women. You're just becoming valued mainly for image and access. And one of the things that all these famous men's coaches and influencers in the red pill are just not understanding is femininity doesn't look at stat sheets, right? The modern day masculine woman will look at stat sheets. She will look at how tall you are, your muscles, your looks, how attractive you are physically through the eyes, what your bank account is, where you can take her, what experiences you can give her, how she can look in front of the audience on her Instagram profile. That's a very masculine mindset. So if you are attracting women through this way, you're emasculating yourself and you're dating women who are masculine themselves. When you build your personality based on your finances, when you build your personality based on what you can do for her at a superficial level, you are attracting the wrong women. You are attracting the gold diggers. Even if you set boundaries and you don't do the sugar daddy thing, you are still attracting women who want you for what you can give her and the image of her life. Of course, women are always going to be attracted to you for what you can give her, but what about what you can give her mentally, emotionally, spiritually? What about the dance of masculinity and femininity? And that's what's missing in today's modern society. The way I date, I'm a 5'9" Indian guy. I don't party and go and do fancy experiences the way I used to do it when I was younger. I live a pretty simple life now out of choice. And I attract a lot of beautiful women, and I do it because of who I am. The places I can take her mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and into her femininity, instead of the places I can take her around the world, or a club, or a dinner restaurant. That's the difference in the type of woman you're attracting, right? If you have value, the value that you show is the one of someone who can travel, someone who can go to nice restaurants, someone who can do nice fancy things, then you are going to attract a woman who is hunting men, who is in her masculine, and who wants those things. When you can attract a woman based on who you are as a man, your confidence, the way you lead, the way you solve problems, your logic, your ability to make her feel protected and safe, both in your competence and in your integrity, right? A woman feels safe for many different things. Sometimes they may seem like opposing forces. She may feel safe that you're competent and you can get things done. She may feel safe that you honor your word and your integrity. She may feel safe that you can fight and win a fight. She may feel safe that you can solve problems and outthink people. There's many ways a woman feels safe, but it's about who you are, the way your brain works, the way you process emotions, the way you are connected to a higher power, your higher voice, the way you're in your masculine, your leadership, your ability to speak your truth at all times, own your power and your confidence at all times, be convicted in your beliefs, lead, 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 and operate from a place of fearlessness and courage. Women who are feminine are always in their bodies. They're always feeling energy. They're always feeling your masculinity and your capabilities. So if you really want to be a man who attracts quality women, what do I mean by quality women? Women who are sweet, women who are giving, women who are in their hearts, women who are caring, women who are emotional, women who can follow your leadership. You don't want to go to the model, make a lot of money, and go to the gym. That's just going to attract the masculine women who are chasing and hunting. You want to do it with your body language, how you carry yourself, the confidence you give off, the charisma you give off, the inner peace you give off, the power you have in everything you do, the frame you have in everything you do, not being attached to any outcomes, not being anxious and needing things to go a certain way, but the inner peace and non-attachment you carry yourself with. That's what attracts women. Women are attracted to who you are. You know how everyone says, be yourself? That doesn't work very well because most of us now, men, have grown up in such a feminized society that our self is whiny, cranky, needy, desiring intimacy, and just not fully confident in yourself. But what I believe is you should be yourself, but be your best self. And that's in the way you think, the way you talk, the way you believe in yourself, the way you connect with God, the way you hold inner peace, the way you love your life, and the way you lead, lead, lead with confidence and conviction. So as we're evolving, we went from feminism in a healthy way to feminism in a toxic way, to the red pill, to the manosphere, to social circles, and all these different ways for men to improve. There's one reliable path you're going to attract quality women. There's only one way you're going to attract women who are soft, feminine, loyal, loving, caring. And that's through shifting who you become. Where the red pill and the manosphere gets it wrong is it's not an outside-in job. Sure, having money can bring you some confidence. Being in good shape can bring you some confidence. But for the guy who struggles with being a nice guy, the guy who struggles with being a pushover, the guy who struggles with being a people pleaser, it's an inside-out job. You have to shift the way you think, shift the way you process emotions, shift the way you disconnect from spirituality, and get rid of all your nice guy habits and give off the vibration in the way you carry yourself. That you are confident, you are peaceful, you are trustable, you are charismatic, and you can influence others and get things done. A woman is attracted to a man who acts like a man, who behaves like a man, and that's because he thinks and feels like a man on the inside. So my call to you, and this is something I work on humbly every single day, hours and hours a day, to make sure I'm the best version of myself. And that's an inside job. We'll talk more about how you can apply this into dating situations in a future video. So today, be peaceful and be powerful.